Good morning everybody and welcome to the new vlog. We are starting here because I just got ready and I'm wearing my literally favorite set that I feel like you guys have seen a little bit more than my usual sets, just because this is my go thing whenever I'm doing whatever. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like basically these Bermuda shorts, very nice and light, and the top. And this morning I got up early, I went to do a blood test, and now I need like few little errands to run. As you guys know, first of all, I will need to sort that pile on the floor sometimes. Guys, I finished the bottle and I don't even know if I have. I have. I'm even gonna take the one that fell on the floor because it's precious. I just finished the bottle of No Slim. My mom's texted me this morning to send me the tracking details of the package that she sent me, which also contains the new product. So I'm very excited, but also I'll take a little bit of coffee, it's okay. When I don't start the day with No Slim, I really notice the difference, like so much difference in my body, because it just like my cravings are all over the place and I have so much like food noise in my head. I'm thinking so much about food instead of thinking about all the other things that I need to be thinking about. Anyway, should we put the lights on? I feel like maybe things look a little bit better when the lights are on. I'm gonna get out my new sunnies to go to town. Filippo and I are gonna go because I actually want to get a Chloe top that I've shown you shorts from in one of my previous videos. I want to get the Chloe top. I called them last night to ask if they have it, and I actually today at some point will need to go to Sephora. Now you will probably not see like a chunk of this day because I'll be working, so that's not really like vloggable that much. Like I'll be shooting some things, I have a schedule like to go through and things like that, but I need to go to Sephora to get some things for the holidays, and not holidays really because I'm not taking really any holidays. I'm going to Sicily and I'm going to Greece for a birthday, Sicily for a wedding. So long story short, I need to get some like things like SPF and like hair protection and things like that, like just like products that I also run out of. So I need to go there at some point. For the first time ever today I'm wearing this bag. I actually wore it to do the blood test. Hopefully today the results will be good. Like I really need to cut my hair. It's a little bit curlier today than usually, but I want to give it a little chop to get like the full. And because finally, do you remember guys, I don't know if you remember, but in like 2021 I think, or 2022, I cut a bit of a fringe, quite a bit, and it was a very thick fringe. It wasn't really a great cut if I'm honest, but okay. Anyway, it's grown out more or less fully. This is the shortest part now of my hair, not fully grown out, but we're almost on the way out, which makes me very, very happy. Oh my god, this is so cute actually. I don't think I've been here before, to this boutique in Monaco in particular, but I love it. Guess who came to join me? The damage control. No, you're not the damage control.
No.
You actually cause more damage. Filippo makes me shop.
I didn't.
But luckily, the shopping was done before he came.
No?
Yes, I do have those. I love them a lot actually. Just different color. I tried on some sunglasses as well, they're nice. But I mean, now I'm so into these, I don't need any more. Right? This is so beautiful. Love it. How do you guys like the Ximena's Chloe? I really love it. This is the thing that I wanted to try impromptu. It's just falling like this. But I like it a lot, but I don't think it's 100%. Okay, ignore the fact that the underwear is not right. I mean, I like it, but I don't think it's my 100% self as much as the set that I got. This is 38, I think it's big. Because I feel like constantly a little bit too naked, you know, like something's gonna come out. But I have a 34 as well here. I'm ideally 36, but... Okay, this is the top. Wait, cannot do many things with one hand, so we're just gonna have to start. Okay, baby, how cute is this pink seating outside? I think very cute. Mission accomplished. Was your mission accomplished too?
Yep.
People went to the bank. Look at this. This is my morning view. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I think like regular blood test is quite important for both women and men, because you need to kind of understand what's going on in your body. If you guys want me to talk about this a little bit more, like to send you a list of what you can do. And obviously I know this is a controversial topic because I know that health systems in different countries can be very, very difficult. But I come from a country, Serbia, that actually having a blood test is not really a privilege, because even if you go and get it privately done, not on a government level, it's not like in some countries where it's like almost impossible, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that I obviously went to get it done privately because last year, I don't know if I told you guys, but I had the most terrible vitamin D levels. I mean, there were so many things that I needed to kind of keep control of. So now I'm keeping track on the progress. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna get a car because we came here with the car. I need to call my dad because he has been waiting for me to do the blood test for like a month now. He's been like, it's time for you to do it. Normally I do it at the beginning of the year and then I do it in June. But this year with the wedding, guys, I had so many things to do. Wow, 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 wow. How incredibly gorgeous is this? I'm sorry, but this is another level of everything, and it gives me such good vibes and so much motivation to work when I see this. Wow, I love it. It's the casino on the left and up there, and then Hotel de Paris. Good morning, guys. It is a new day, even though I just thought I'd start this vlog properly yesterday. Newsflash, didn't. Why am I wearing the same outfit, you might be wondering? Because I love this outfit. I love this. This is my go-to outfit. In fact, I need to make sure that I pack this outfit with me. This is my, like, in the morning when I get up and I'm like, okay, let me go and grab coffee to go and then go back to work. This is what I wear. I love it so much. And yesterday I ran into someone in Monaco and she was so sweet and she said, I saved so many of the things that you show, and I was wearing this, and she said, including that outfit. Anyway, yesterday you saw that I was going to Chloe, right? I was going to Chloe. I picked the top that I wanted. That was the only thing I picked. And where is it? What should I do today? I didn't blend in the little bit on the tip of the nose, but I like to sometimes also do it with the fingers. It's more subtle. I'm gonna use the Wonder Skin All Day Blush Satin. Oh, this is a different one. I wasn't gonna use this one, but actually I will now. Why not? Unpacking. The house is such chaos that you would not, oh no, I need to pack this blush. I love it way too much to not pack it, okay? The problem is, like, I'm at the moment having such a big craze between, there are two blushes that I love. The NARS Insatiable Liquid Blush, which is actually, this exact one is my wedding day blush as well in Itsy Bitsy. I think I've said this a million times already, but it's the fact. And not in this shade only, like I packed so many of these NARS blushes because I really, really love them, as you can see. But I also really love this Wonder Skin one, and I think I actually prefer this shade even. This is the Toasty. It's quite like nice for summer. I think I prefer it than the other one that I've shown you. You just need to blend it fast because it's kind of like a stain in Barely. I mean, I like them both, but I think Toasty, very nice. It's a bit of like a berryish. Anyway, the house is chaos. We need to leave in an hour and a half and we have not packed. And normally, like, I am really good at packing. Also, we're not leaving for that long. We're leaving for 3 days only. So I would normally pack for 3 days in 45 minutes. Done, nothing to think about, right? However, on this occasion, so we have like a birthday, like whatever, a weekend with friends away. Then I have a wedding to go to and we'll go straight to the wedding. But here's the trick. Or not a trick, but the problem. The problem is I might have a job straight from the wedding and not come back home. And if that happens, it means that I really need to pack for more days than I was intending on. Even if it's like everything, like, you know, like you need more underwear, you need more like beauty stuff, you need more clothes and clean t-shirts and everything, because then if I have a job right after, it will mean that there's more stuff to do, you know what I mean? But what's really good is that I'm like always in movement in places that I'm familiar with, so that I can kind of like, if I really need something, I can get maybe like an extra thing here and there, you know what I mean? We're in Europe, basically. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of oh no, I used the wrong one. Is this Hustle? Yes, this is normally the one I use in the inner corners, not on my crease. Hold on, hold on. This is what happens when I talk and not pay attention, because the one that I use in the crease is Laguna. Okay, I love this so much. It's so easy to use, very, very easy and very nice. I just need a little eye brush to blend in. Beautiful. So that's why there is such a chaos at home, because I really need to pack well. And then, you know, why do this like maybe job, I need to also pack for it, because if it gets confirmed in the next 2 days or on Monday or whatever, I won't be back home to pack. So it has to be like, I have to act like it's confirmed. But if it doesn't get confirmed, which, you know, can happen because it happens a lot, like things can happen a lot like that, or if it gets moved or whatever, then I pack for no reason. But better safe than sorry, because I always say, and everybody on my team knows that. I think they're a little bit sick of it actually when I say it. But if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. So that's the drill. Okay, this is a little bit of this Prada durable gliding eye pencil in wood, like a brownish tone, okay? Then for mascara, I think I showed you, I really like the Ilia one. I haven't been really curling my eyelashes lately as much as I usually do. This is a lip balm I bought in Korea. It's from this brand called Tokobo. I like it. It's very moisturizing. It's more like a lip mask than a lip balm, I would say, and it's very glossy. I think I packed a little bit too much in my beauty bag. It's not really closing, and I'm not really gonna need all of this. So I almost feel like I need to get rid of some stuff, but I don't know what it is that's making the bulkiness. Okay, so I'm not gonna bring my NARS powder blushes because I'm bringing my NARS liquid blushes, and I think that's a little bit more holiday friendly. I also don't really need 75 brushes, right? How many brushes have I packed? Oh my god, no wonder this beauty bag is not actually closing. So let's fix this. I also don't need this lash curler because it's not that great. I also don't think I need this Chanel mascara. It's burgundy. Okay, we can leave it at home. These things I need, my concealer, a bit of eye gloss, a bit of this Say Velvet Super Suede, sorry, bronzer. I do like it. I do love the Rode contour stick. I love this brush. This is by Mario, double brush or whatever it's called. I do love the MPH brush as well. It's for the contour palette. I don't think I need these. I mean, this Wonder Skin one is really good as well. I'll bring the Patrick Ta one. Or the Wonder Skin. Yeah, this is a little bit more precision. So let's do this, and I will leave all these other ones because genuinely you don't need them. I really, really love the NARS foundation brush. For me, it's like the best foundation brush there is I've ever used or tried. I'm also gonna pack some of these Rode lip liners. Gorgeous. I have the Lounge or Lunch, I'm not sure. And I have Lean. I think Lean is actually my favorite. So I'll pack it. And I need a touch of mascara before we make a move. By the way, I also really love this brush. So if you're looking for makeup brushes, I would say that the makeup brushes to invest in from Hourglass are really great. I really like them a lot because you can buy like a whole set and you're just sorted, you know? It's like nothing to do, and this one is so precise for under eye or for like a bit of added eyeliner effect, you know, the soft eyeliner effect that the whole internet loves now, including me, of course. I really like this. I also really like this eye palette. My favorite eye palettes are usually the Christmas palettes by NARS. They do such good ones at Christmas, but we're far from Christmas, so this is where we're at right now. Ow! I shouldn't really be talking, I should be packing, but I like to procrastinate. Okay, so I was thinking, did I even say enough thank you to you guys for all the incredible comments under our wedding YouTube video? I don't even know if I said enough thank you, because honestly, every day I go in and I read and I look, and The messages are so beautiful. The wishes are so kind. Some of them I reread several times. I want to sit down and like respond properly. I might even do that on holidays because it feels like such a nice, wholesome time when I'm reading your comments. I mean, we're almost at like 500,000 views on that video, which blows my mind. I don't know if I've ever had something like that when it comes to views. And all I can tell you is that I'm so happy I have it also, because the video that I personally rewatch the most times in my life is the video when my younger nephew Victor was born, because I vlogged going to pick him up at the hospital. And I watch it so often because it brings me back to right that feeling, you know, of when he was born. So having YouTube channel is so much more than just, you know, making videos. It's actually incredible because you get all of these memories that you can revisit in your life and watch again and again and again and again. So the fact that I have this YouTube video that I'll be able to rewatch so many times of our wedding day and all the feelings and me vlogging and people filming and everything together, it's like the best gift for myself. And I'm happy that you guys liked it too, because then it's like a gift for us. You know what I mean? I'm so happy that I have that. And I'm so happy whenever I vlog because it's always going to be there. And I've already watched it twice. And I might watch it a few more times. And I think like for Christmas, I'm probably going to watch it again. And Filippo and I were like, let's watch it on the big TV as well. I don't know. I think I knew that people are always end up being so obsessed with their weddings, but since I'm not a natural bridezilla, I didn't actually know that I'll be this touched by it, like also after on a whole level, you know, because I also hated planning, as you guys know. Okay, so I need to like move on, just because look at this. This is not it. This is not it. So I'll update you in a second. Hello guys. Wow, this video is really all over the place. Kind of haven't really gotten a proper structure for it, which is something that I usually always have. Like I usually have structure for my videos. You know what I mean? I usually know what I'm gonna talk to you about, or like, you know, I'm blogging these days and those days, and it's just like very natural. I would pick up my camera and show you bits and bobs around. Not for this video, which obviously you could have seen because it was a little bit all over the place. But one thing that I have decided a while ago, but back in November specifically, I want to say, because in November I launched my supplement brand Noah, right? And I think I like explained, I filmed a whole sit down video telling you why I decided to launch that type of the brand. Obviously I'm a pharmacist, so it's not like a random connection. There is a meaning and there's a reason why I've done it. But besides that, there is also an inner desire, like a personal desire to do a brand like that. And that was a fact that I wanted to make a change. I love what I do. So I love my job. I obviously really enjoy showing you guys like how to style pieces, talking about clothes, talking about beauty, giving advice. I remember someone many years ago on the blog, before the YouTube, maybe not before the YouTube, but before like Instagram and all the other stuff, left me a comment to say, I don't even like your content, but the fact that you really recommend some of the best products, it's a fact, you know? And I thought like, well, maybe because I'm such a optimist, but I thought, what a nice comment. Like, you know, you don't even need to like me. You don't actually need to think that I'm great or beautiful or to enjoy my content. I don't need that validation. What I need is you guys to take what's the best for you. And that's the goal of my content. And I know that maybe doesn't entirely make sense, because actually, if I'm honest, the content that I create could seem like it's a bit of a vanity project, but for me it's not, because I'll tell you why. The part of the job that I enjoyed the most in the pharmacy, right? Because it's not very easy to enjoy any part of the job in the pharmacy. But for me, it was like part of patients coming over and saying, you know what, you made me really understand how to take my medication, or you really made me fall in love with whatever, you know, like, or you helped me so much, or you changed the perspective of how I look at a pharmacist, or how I look at my medication or my treatment, or like you helped me reduce the side effects, or like you helped me with whatever, right? So my actual general mission in life, okay, and with anything that I do, is to also help people. It might seem a bit ridiculous, but I love to give advice to my friends, to people on internet, to whatever it is. I like to be helpful. It's something that I am, and this is the main reason why I also launched my supplement brand. But this is not the topic of right now. The topic of right now is I wanted to talk to you about the blood test that I've done this week, okay? And I do a blood test regularly, I would say twice a year. Now, like I mentioned in this video, I know that this can be kind of like it can be a sensitive topic because the healthcare is not the same in every country of the world, right? Like, I don't know, it might be free in the UK or in Sweden, or it might be very affordable in Serbia, where I come from, even to get it privately done. But it might be very expensive in some other countries of the world, which makes it like such an elitist or snobby thing to speak about. But I'm not speaking from that point of view. I am going to speak to you today about checking your bloods from a healthcare professional point of view, because I am a healthcare professional at the end of the day. And I want you guys to sit down and to take me very seriously, because I realize that I don't use my channels enough to raise awareness for certain things. And I think obviously like 80% of people watching this channel are women. I kind of am very sorry, but I'm going to speak a little bit as if I'm talking to women, but I will also brush up on men as well a little bit. I know that I do mention frequently how important it is to A, check your breasts, B, do a smear test. It doesn't matter what age. Like, different countries have different rules how often you should be checking it depending on your age, but I think women should be having their regular smear tests done, as well as checking their breasts manually, but also like hopefully every now and then, especially if you have a history of any breast cancer or anything like that, checking your breasts with an ultrasound. Oh, look.
You think I can come in?
Yes, you can come in. So that's like kind of like some basics, but what I really wanted is, it's a health talk today, so I don't think you will find it very interesting.
What do you mean?
I know that you love to do your health checks.
Yeah.
So equally so, like I said, those are the tests that are very important for women to check. The reason why I think it's very important is when things are actually caught on time, they can be really easily treated. Equally so, it's kind of for men and their prostate. I think checking it regularly is so important, and Filippo has such a good example of this. I'm not going to go into too many details, but there was someone that did not check ever, right, Filippo, their prostate, and it was such an easy thing to check. But then when he checked, it was way too late. It's just like the easiest thing to treat and to check, and there are so many things that can be fixed when they're being controlled and checked on time. So I wanted to talk to you about the blood test, because I think the blood test is something that is like every health responsible person should do at least once a year. I would like you to do it twice a year if possible, but once a year would be really ideal. And now I want you to sit down, take a pen and paper, and write down everything that you need to check from my point of view as like an advice from me. I'll write, and then obviously if you don't have like a doctor who you can ask, and I'm not naked, by the way, I'm in my swimming suit, but yeah, I don't know if your usual healthcare professionals are dressed like this. However, I will try my best.
Anyway, I don't know what was the topic, because I know it's health, but I can tell you something, that when it comes on health, we are all the same. And there is only one word to describe all of us: lazy. Because you always say, we can do it next week. Dermatologist.
Next year for the skin test.
Next year,
week.
and then next year, and check there are some exams, like Tamara mentioned, the prostate for men. When you are 50, you have to do it. That's it. For women, you have to check the breast.
Smear test, I think,
So
are
just
very
do it.
important.
Take a day on holidays, just do it, and that's it.
But in general, I would say if you guys love your son like we do, checking your skin once a year is also beneficial. Checking your moles, maybe you have moles that you are worrying about, but you're scared to go and check them. There are so many things. However, today I want to talk about blood tests, and I want to tell you what you can do and what does it mean and why. Because sometimes people go to get a blood test and then the receptionist will ask you, so what do you want to check? And you don't know. If the doctor doesn't give you a list of what you need to get done.
Usually they go to the doctor.
Correct.
You are the only one that doesn't go to the doctor because you are a pharmacist. So you can do it yourself.
Yes, but I want to give also I want to give people the idea of everything that they can check and what does it mean, right? So I'll be very brief, a little bit nerdy, but maybe you also, Filippo, can learn something.
Yes.
So, pen and paper. First thing that you can check is the full blood count. So our blood is kind of made of three important components. We have red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. Sorry, Filippo, but the camera is moving. Obviously water as well, but these are the non-watery components, or the plasma, right? So we have red blood cells. They're very, very important. They make our blood red. We also have something that is in that kind of picture. We have iron, hemoglobin, And very important, check also your ferritin, especially because ferritin is very important for hair growth. So some women, for example, say like, my hair just doesn't grow, what should I do? And no supplement, no food change, no nothing can help you grow your hair if your ferritin levels are low. So in general, like a lot of women also suffer with anemia, it's very important to check your iron, your hemoglobin, your ferritin. Please make sure to check those. Check your red blood cells. And then we have our white blood cells, which are very important for our immunity. We have 5 different kinds of white blood cells, but they can kind of indicate whether you have just went through an infection, or you are going through one, or you have allergic reactions. Maybe you have a pet and you didn't even know you're allergic to a pet, but your immune system knows. Or maybe you're going through something internally that this can show us. Then obviously we have our platelets. That's also important for coagulation and all the other stuff, but not as the most crucial thing right now. So you check your full blood count. That's very important. Then what else you can check in your blood is 2 kind of important components. I would say sugar, or like glucose.
Cholesterol.
I was just gonna say. So glucose you do, and insulin, that's very important as well, especially like if you're noticing that you are struggling losing weight, or you're struggling with certain thing, you can do a little insulin resistance test. You can check your insulin, you can check your glucose, and I recommend you do your blood test fasting, which means in the morning on an empty stomach, you go to the lab to draw the blood, and you don't eat anything, not even an espresso shot, nothing, an empty stomach. Also, like having a huge dessert the night before can alert your results, so please be reasonable, okay? Then cholesterol, like Filippo said, also very important. Even if you're very young and very slim, you might notice that maybe genetically you actually have predisposition for high cholesterol. Now, just the total cholesterol doesn't mean anything. It's a number that means nothing, because we have different kinds of cholesterol. And I'll tell you the 2 very important kinds are the HDL and the LDL. HDL is a good cholesterol. Do you know how in university we remember which one is good, which one is bad? Because HDL, we memorize it as heart disease less. So it doesn't cause heart disease, right? The HDL, which means is the good one.
But the most important thing you need to check, and also I'm wearing a doctor, uniform. It is not even the LDL and HDL.
Okay, what is it?
You need to check the lipoprotein A, okay?
Okay.
So the lipoprotein is, these people that take the fat from the food you eat. There are a lot of little people in your blood, These little people, they are all belong to the same, tribe, which is called lipoprotein A. So these people, what they do, they take the fat from the food you eat and they put it, guess where? In your bloodstream. So what you need to do is check this lipoprotein. Lipoprotein, there is nothing you can do. Lipoprotein A, there is nothing you can do. Check and memorize, because there is nothing you can do. That's genetic.
So why would they check it if there's nothing
Check
you can do?
if he's okay. Because if he's too high, don't worry, something will come out in the next years that you can cure that. If you are lipoprotein A high, let's say 150, 170, whatever is the measurement in the country you are, then you just need to know that is something you have to take care of.
It just means simply that maybe you're eating very healthy, maybe you're exercising, maybe you're doing everything perfect when it comes to your lifestyle, but genetically you have this like predisposition of having high cholesterol no matter what you do. And it's important to keep an eye on, because sometimes our DNA is dictating on what we're going to suffer with, and there's nothing that we can do. But it's important to understand our DNA, because that way we can prevent certain events from happening in life.
And that's why we also did a DNA test. We can suggest to you which one to do.
That's a whole other story. I'm not going to go
into
now. But besides your cholesterol, total cholesterol, but a very important separate HDL, LDL, your lipoprotein A, as Filippo said, you should also do your triglycerides test, because that's also very important, because besides your glucose, besides your insulin, triglycerides are also important to check, because there's lots of different things that will indicate in our blood whether we have predisposition for diabetes or not, because some of us, for example, here have family history of diabetes, right? So we want to make sure that everything is good, so that we can be very healthy and living long time.
Another thing for my boys here, you need to check the testosterone. You know why?
Also for the girls, you would be surprised.
Testosterone is very important for your heart. You need to check. If testosterone is fine, no problem. Testosterone is low, then you might need a little injection, a little gel, a little something.
Is that what your doctor told you?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I wanted to say, but like hormones are the next. But Filippo's already started onto the hormones. So
Yes.
we have several different hormones, and usually when you say the word hormones, people think sex hormones, but those are not the only hormones. Every single like kind of important gland in our body can be dealing with hormones. So we have thyroid gland, right?
Yep.
Hormones, thyroid hormones. We have sex hormones, like you said. We have noradrenaline, adrenaline. We have several different hormones in our body. Obviously, you guys will know also of some other hormones, such as dopamine, right? Serotonin. Have you heard of those, Filippo? But anyway, we are going to check the thyroid gland function. So our thyroid gland is very, very, very important, and there's so many things that go on in our body that are such a perfect machine. The body is a perfect machine, and sometimes you excrete a lot of hormone and your brain says, hold on, there's too much, so I'm going to excrete less now. And then it starts excreting less, and then the brain says, wait, hold on a second, we need more. And then it starts dictating, like your pituitary gland is going to start dictating to excrete more. That's a whole other story, but you need to check
You know
your
that-
T3, your T4, as well as your TPO. There's like this, it's very, very common to have an autoimmune disease. That means that your own body is attacking your thyroid gland. That is very, very common nowadays, unfortunately. And it's very important to check that your immune system is not attacking your thyroid gland. You can also check that, especially if you have family history of thyroid gland issue. I'll tell you something. My mom and my dad both have autoimmune disease. Did you know that, Filippo?
No.
Yeah. My both parents have autoimmune disease. My dad has no thyroid gland. My mom basically completely destroyed her thyroid gland as well. And I have checked for autoimmune disease for thyroid gland, and so far I'm fine. But small things can activate autoimmune diseases, even such as food poisoning. Food poisoning can cause your immune system to be overactive and to even cause autoimmune disease. I just want to wrap it up quickly. So besides thyroid gland, you should check your liver function and you should check your kidney function. With liver function, you can check your different kind of things that indicate how well is your liver working, like bilirubin, conjugated bilirubin. You can check ALT. You can check like lots of different things that will suggest how well is your liver doing. This is quite important, and it can also indicate like whether or not you need to change some things in your diet, for example. Kidney function, very important. Why, Filippo? Kidneys do so many things in our body, right? Like
Yes. Like, you prevent the stones, which is the most painful thing you can experience.
what? What do kidneys do?
Kidney, they do pee-pee.
Correct. They filter the water. That's correct,
Exactly.
actually. There's just like maybe a little bit more a different way to say it. But basically, they filter the blood as well. So, it's very important to get the liquids, let's say, in that way. So, you can check your urea, creatinine, and you can check the glomerular, always such a hard word to say, glomerular filtration rate, which can also indicate, for example, that you're just simply dehydrated, or lots of different things, like, for example, your kidneys are not maybe working as efficiently, and then you need to change some things, but it's very, very important to check. Okay?
Yes.
What else can they check?
Well, you can check your what you drink, for example.
No, what you can check in your body.
No, I know. And I'm saying in your body, you can check that the alcohol doesn't go in, because that's not very good. And the smoke as well. So don't drink, don't smoke. And also, my doctor, he asked people, which medication do you take? And, some people say proudly, none. Like I don't take anything. And the doctor said, well, you shouldn't be proud, because for my doctor, everybody should be taking something to keep the machine perfect,
Going.
which is not medication necessary, but it can be
Supplements?
vitamins, supplements. You need to take something. If you don't take anything and you think you're cool because you take nothing, don't be, that cool, because you should take something, because we all need magnesium. We all need, right?
You're right. This is a very controversial opinion, I would
Yes.
say. But the reason why
We like controversial opinions.
The reason why, sadly, this is the world that we live in now is because the food that we consume is not anywhere what the food used to be back in the days, when it used to be full of nutrients and ingredients that were beneficial for our health. So yes, it is true that someone like me, who eats a lot of fish and a lot of vegetable and a lot of vitamin D and vitamins in general, rich foods, I have a very low vitamin D.
And also,
And I struggle with my health because of very low
and
vitamin
also,
D.
we are perfect machines. Like Tamara mentioned before, our body is perfection. But you can always sleep better. You can always feel stronger. You can always be more brilliant with your brain. You know, brain is also a very sophisticated machine, and you need to polish it. You
Correct.
know, and you can do it with meditation. You can do it with which supplement can help your mind to be more clear. For example,
There's so many different ones, like
you know, like omega-3. It's something everybody should take, no?
I mean, in supplements, like to have your mind as, like, for example, memory. There's so many different things, like
Exactly.
ginkgo or lion's mane,
Exactly.
or the different vitamins, like antioxidants, like vitamin C, that can help, like, so many different pathways in your
So my suggestion is take something, guys.
in your body. But the point is that these are some of the things you can check, and then I would add as personal suggestion, just because that's something that is important to me. Vitamin B levels, like B12, is
B12.
quite an important one.
Yes.
It's very important for myelinization of nerves, which is like, you know how you have electricity and then you have some insulation around it. That's basically it. So your nerves are like your electricity kind of going through the nerves, but then you have something that is like layering around them, like some sort of insulation, and B12 is important for that. Important for so many things. Check your vitamin D, check your sodium and potassium, important for so many different functions. Like there's a whole like sodium potassium pump, but important for your heart function. I would check your, I said already, iron.
Yeah, but also, you know, it's important that, you know, you listen your body, you listen if you sleep, if you're hungry, if, you know, you need to, you know,
Yeah.
we don't all
For
do that.
women, I would check your progesterone levels. You usually check them on a particular time in the
Also
month when
pressure,
it's the highest.
blood pressure important.
Yes, but that's like not in the blood test.
No, I know, but you can check your blood
Yes,
pressure
of
sometimes.
course. We
you
check
know?
all the time.
Yeah,
Mine
but
is so
how
low that I have
many-
to check
How
it.
many of you has a blood pressure machine at home? How many?
Yeah, this is very, very, very affordable thing.
Exactly.
And it's something that you should always have. And whenever we feel a bit like, I always say, let's check our blood test. Let's check our
You know,
BP.
because I always tell, you know, my friends, you always, when you drink because you're thirsty, it's too late to drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should never get there. So anyway, I have the solution for all your problems, guys, which is the main cause of any disease. You know what it is?
I know what it is. It starts with S and it ends with
Exactly,
S.
and it's called stress. That's the main cause of every single problems with your body. So marry the right woman, have the right friends next to you, and try to lower the level of your stress, and life will be easier, because stress, it is the number one cause of any single disease.
And I have to add that, of course, there will be some cynical people to say now, oh, what do you know? Or, you know, tomorrow I can get hit by a bus and
Well,
die.
can I answer to these people?
Yes.
So let me answer to these people. We fly every 3 days, and we change, how do you say jet lag? Fuso
Time
horario.
zones.
You change time zone. We change food. We change temperature. So it might look like we having the best life in the world, which we do because we have each other. But life is not very easy when you change plane and you take two people and you check in different hotels every 3 nights.
And there's something called pressure disease,
Yeah.
pressure's disease. When you start university, lots of people get colds because all of a sudden they're surrounded by people from so many different countries that bring their own germs, that bring their own things.
I told already in another YouTube video once that we expose ourselves to everything is in the air in this world.
I mean, when I was 21, I got chickenpox, guys, on the plane, okay? So, you know, things get like around, right? And it's important that we take care of our health. And what I want to do with this channel, I know that this is not going to be entertaining parts for many of you, because you guys like me to talk about fashion and beauty and luxury and lifestyle and show where I travel and what I do. But please, 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 if just like at least 1% of you guys who watch this video can take a message home and maybe speak to your loved ones and say, hey guys, let's do a blood test. Let's check what's going on. I forgot to say one other thing that you should definitely check. It's not necessarily the biggest indicator of things that are going on in your body, but it is an indicator of something going on in your body, and it's called CRP. It can show you whether there is some sort of like inflammation or infection or something going on in your body. So if your CRP is high, it can indicate anything from a cold to a virus to a food poisoning, and even something as big and grave as cancer. So there are lots of things, and then, you know, when you have your first blood test results, if everything is fine, which I hope it will be, touch wood, and I really wish everything is fine, then you can sleep so good. Or like, you know, if your vitamin B12 is a little bit low, you can just tailor it.
But also,
and
can
do
I say
better.
something that is very important? This is really, really important. If you need to go, you know, on medication, or you need to take any kind of medicine, there is nothing wrong with that.
Of course
You know,
not.
actually, you know, we'll all end up taking some kind of medication, and there is nothing wrong with that. You know, we evolve, we get old, and we need to keep the machine. It's the same thing with your car. You have to take the car, you have to put the oil, you have to do a refresh. So there is nothing to be ashamed. If you have to take a medication, take a medication. That helps you to live better and more. So
And
take it.
I'm not here advocating anything. Your life, your
No?
choice. You can do whatever you want. Like my grandma, baby, she never wanted to take one medicine. It was like a nightmare to try to give her an antibiotic when she was having like.
our grandma, they belong to a different era.
I know, it was different education, but she thought like anything and everything can be treated
Of
like
course.
naturally.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's like a kind of people. I don't want to convince anybody of anything.
Well, but
and
can we
that's not
say
where I'm
we say that
going.
we believe in medicine?
I am a pharmacist, so of
That's
course
it.
I do believe.
And I
I've
support
seen
that.
it. But what I wanted to say is that please, prevention is half a health. More than half a health is prevention. So there's so many things that can be prevented. So 3 things today we've agreed on, right? Can we shake hands in the comments on this? One is breast check, smear test for everyone. And one is blood test. Annabelle would say, Filippo, you always ask me, when did I do my last blood
I
test?
love doing blood tests. I do it every. I would do it every month if I could. I like to check the evolution of the thing. You know.
But we are machines, and longevity is something that can be worked on. And you have, I'm sure, many people that love you and that care about you, and I'm sure you love many people.
Can we
and
tell
you
them?
care about.
Can we tell them what we take every night before sleep?
It's not that much. We take.
We take magnesium
We take magnesium.
every night, and we love it.
I take Noah hair at night. In the morning, I take the Slim. Filippo takes. Well, we both take coenzyme Q10. I take
Yes.
some other stuff as well, but I'm not going to bore you with that. That's
Yeah.
okay. What the long story short is, take your health into your own hands.
Also for
Small
all of you,
reminder.
also for all of you that ask me, what do I do to my skin? I do nothing, guys. I do nothing. It's just kisses.
So-
Let's go. It's late. It's late.
Yeah, but you guys always come first. And happiness and health are such a close correlation. So I'm sorry if this was not the most fun video for you guys, but this was very important for me to film because I feel so much better knowing that I've used my platform to raise awareness on something that maybe can change someone's life. I love you lots. I hope you guys know that. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.